Morning, everyone. Little computer glitch, but that's okay because we're here now with Brandy Mullen. Good morning, Brandy.
Good morning. Good morning.
Happy Friday.
Friday to you too. Super excited.
Yes, yes. It's a wonderful day. It's bright and sunshiny. I got up this morning and opened up the window and looked at the break of the new day. It was beautiful. We had some clouds out there, but it was like the sun was just outlining the clouds. You know how that happens sometimes, where it's just like this bright outline of all the clouds that are up there. It was just gorgeous. I love Friday. I love mornings. Sometimes I can't get up, but when I do, it's amazing to just look out and see that, you know, that first light that comes up in the mornings. Yeah. So we're here for Gratitude Fridays. I just love it. I love getting together. This is, what, our third time, I think, Brandy, of doing this. And they've all been amazing. And thank you to those who are in the studio with us today. Hi, Mary and Sherry. So glad you're here. And all of those that are watching on YouTube Live, we appreciate you being here with us. And we're going to talk about some gratitude today. How about that, Brandy? You ready for gratitude?
I'm ready for gratitude. Ready. Ready.
Yeah. You know, I was talking to a friend yesterday. I had kind of an off day yesterday, and I was trying to raise myself up and, you know, raise the vibration. And I was talking to someone, and she said that her motto is stay blessed, not stressed. And she goes, you can feel free to use that. And it was like, yeah, I think I will, because I really like that, you know, staying blessed. And so I wrote a blog about it today, how, you know, we have a choice every day, how much we're going to let stress get to us. We decide on our choices, and that's pretty powerful. You know, we decide if we're going to allow that stress inside of us, because we don't have to. We don't have to allow it. We determine the amount of stress that we're going to say, okay, that's enough. You know, I let a little stress in and now I'm done.
Right.
You know, we can decide to be blessed and to live in that blessed state instead of that stressed state. And I love that. I love that she shared that with me, and now I'm sharing it with all of you. So what do you think about that, Brandy? What's your thoughts?
I think that's, you know, you can't be not stressed. You know, someone said this, and I think it was actually, have you ever heard of the musical artist 50 Cent? I don't know if you've ever heard of him. And he said one thing that was very profound to me. And he said, you either are going to pray or you're going to worry. You can't do both. And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. Never really thought about that. And I think he was on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, or one of those shows that she has on OWN, and she was actually interviewing him, and he said that. So I always tried to think about that. And then, you know, fear perverts love, you know what I mean? Fear actually just, you know, it takes away from love. So in order for us to be in the vibrational energy of just being blessed, we have to literally find ways to take all of that stress, and we all get stressed. You know, that's not something that just, oh, people who maybe aren't working on themselves, or I think, you know, sometimes when we are working on ourselves the most is when, you know, we're emptying out and releasing a lot of those energies. So things that we think that, hey, I've done the work on that, it does come up, you know, so that we can release it. So I think that, you know, when we're doing that and those shadow sides kind of pop up where we're like, you know, this is how I feel today. I don't feel so well. I don't feel, you know, it's important for us to just say, hey, okay, I'm making a decision right now that I'm blessed. So we got to make that decision. I am totally blessed. And then we have to make a decision of how am I going to release this? Because we know it's some energy that we're dealing with that it's there. So now we have to release it. So we have to make a decision to admit, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Take that spiritual temperature, you know, what we always talk about, take our spiritual temperature. And we have to do that constantly. And it's like, you know, everyone should do that. I mean, that's not just for, you know, some people, it's all of us. And when we do that, we absolutely can make a decision to be happy. And we find ways to release that energy, which is the stress, which is the worry, which is the fear, which is whatever. You know, we take it, we find ways, meditation, music, writing, just going out and looking in nature and being in nature and grounding ourselves in nature. We got to make a decision to release it somewhere. And so I think that what you said was awesome.
That's a great point, Brandy. You know, we're human. Number one, you know, we can't be 100% on that high flying cloud that Abraham talks about. We can't be up there 100% of the time because life happens, things happen. We have choices to make and decisions to make. So we have to process things. And I think what happened with me yesterday that really turned it around, I'm hosting the Archangels right now in my home. So they're here with me for 5 days. They arrived last night. And I already knew that I needed to sit down and have a talk with my angels. So when they did get here, that's exactly what I did. And, you know, we can do that whether we're hosting them or we're just one-on-one talking to them. But I said, look, you know, I need to get this out there and just get it outside of me because it is something that's bothering me. So I think processing our thoughts, processing our feelings, and actually saying them out loud to where we're hearing what we're saying and not stuffing it inside of us is a big part of that releasing process. Yeah. You know, we're releasing that energy when we let it outside of us. It's like this steam pot, you know, with a lid on it, and it just keeps building and building in the steam, and eventually it's going to blow if we don't let the steam out. So we have to let that steam out every once in a while, you know, and just say, this is what I'm dealing with. These are the choices that I'm looking at. So I need to get it out there where I can express it and I can get feedback. And the angels are wonderful at giving feedback, you know, and they just let me rant and rave. They were just like, okay, let it out, you know, let the tears flow, let the steam out, and then let's look at it, you know, rationally and make some decisions. And it was wonderful. I felt so good afterward. And then they were like, okay, sleep. So I got a really good night of sleep, and I did wake up more refreshed this morning, and I woke up, you know, like I said, and saw the daybreak, saw the sunrise, and it's just so powerful to do that. And I'm very grateful that I've reached a place in my life where I know now to do that. Mm-hmm. Always, you know, there were times that I would just stuff things down inside, and that's so unhealthy. Yeah, very unhealthy thing to do is to not let things outside that we're holding in, and exactly. To actually process them.
And those shadow sides, the shadow sides are so awesome, you know, because it does, you know, in our weakness, you know, God and Goddess strength is made perfect. You know, so it's not about us bragging about, oh, you know, I'm always at my very best all the time. But sometimes, you know, we have to brag about our insults, our fallings, the things that we've done wrong, the things that make us feel like, you know, man, why can't I just get over this? Why can't I? When we begin to talk about that and bring light into that, in our weakness, God and Goddess strength is made perfect. The divine masculine and feminine energies made perfect, you know, we're able to make sense out of it and help others. And I just think it's so important to be in that place where we're honest. And I love the fact that you're honest about, hey, I just had an off day, and guess what? The sun is shining bright today, and I'm doing a show, and I feel amazing, and I did something about it. So I love that you are sharing that, because that's beautiful, and it's actually taking you to another level of ascension. As you were saying that, I actually was seeing you going to another level of ascension. And I also saw that you were actually releasing to move, like to ascend. So that's what that was about.
Yeah, it was some very powerful energy. And, you know, it could have gone two different ways. And that's what I said. We all have choices. You know, I could have just kept saying, oh, you know, nobody cares, and oh, woe is me, you know, and been in that state and stayed in that state. But no, I wasn't going to do that. And I think what has helped me so much is doing my gratitude every day. You know, I really believe that, because I started on that gratitude journey a few years ago. And I started out with writing down every day 10 things I was grateful for.
Mhm.
You know, I followed that religiously. Every day I would pick up my journal, and it was like, okay, I've got to write my 10 things. You know? And so eventually it got to where I'm doing now one person a day that I send out gratitude for. But it doesn't matter what your method is, as long as you're putting something out there every day of gratitude, whether it's just stating what you're grateful for, who you're grateful for, is getting it out there, doing that. Because when you're showing gratitude, whether it's for a person, a thing, you know, a situation, whatever it might be, it helps you, but it also helps somebody else. And in making that gratitude statement, you know, you're really lifting vibration on two different planes.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful.
I think so too. I love that. And I just love the fact that you just seem like you're just in a place of just peace. You know, after that, you know, it was like a storm was going on there for a second, and, you know, there was a lot of rain coming, but then I just see that you're in a place of peace. Like, I actually see, like looking at you, I'm actually seeing like a glow around you, like your aura is really like shining really bright. Yeah. So.
Thank you. I do. I feel very much at peace today. And also the angels are here. Their energy is just so huge in my room right now. And, you know, this is, I think, the third, it might be the fourth time that I've hosted the Archangels. And it's a beautiful thing to do, because you actually open the door and let them into your home. You know, so it's like you feel their presence as soon as they come in, and then they're here. They're just here. Their whole essence is here in my home. And it just makes it like alive.
Mm-hmm. You
know, it's like the energy in the room is alive. There, I can just feel them like sitting there going, yeah, go for it, you know, go ahead. You know, encouraging me the whole way, you know, with what I'm doing. And I love that. I looked up some gratitude quotes. I'd like to just read a couple of these that I had looked up, because I think it's important to look at different things that different people talk about as far as gratitude. Tolle is, he is one of my mentors that I dearly love. If you're not familiar with Eckhart Tolle, he wrote Stillness Speaks, which is one of my favorite books of all time. And, you know, when I was first introduced to that book, I got it on Audibles. So it was him reading the book to us. And I'm sitting outside listening to him read this book to me. And the part that we were at in the book was about nature. And just sitting out in nature and being still and listening and looking. And yeah, he does this thing in the book where he tells you to just look at a tree. Just look at that tree and just feel that energy that's coming from the tree, because everything has energy.
Yeah.
Everything. And the trees emit this energy from them that, you know, so many times we just take it for granted. We're like, oh, it's a tree. Great. You know, we know that it grows. We know that some of them change color. We know that, you know, they emit oxygen. But do we really take the time to just look, you know, stop and look at a tree and just be at one with it? and enjoy that energy that's coming from it. So that was a little diversion there, but I just wanted to share that he is one of my favorite mentors and my favorite authors. And he says, it is through gratitude for the present moment that the spiritual dimension of life opens up.
Wow.
Do you love that?
I love that. Can you read it one more time? Say it one more time for me.
It is through gratitude for the present moment that the spiritual dimension of life opens up. Very
true. Very true. That is like 100%. Living in this now moment, so many times we want to, we want all these, we get messages that things are going to get better, things are going to become awesome, and we're happy about that. And sometimes we're focusing on the future part and not on the right now. And focusing on the right now actually helps us to, like you were talking about, release energies, get ready for that new place, open up, be happy, vibrate at a high frequency, be gracious, be thankful right now in this place, like in the very parts of your life right now, not when it gets better, but right now, because it gets better. What do you say, Terry? It changes when you change.
It will change when you change.
Yeah.
And I have to always quote one of my favorite quotes from Wayne Dyer. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, that's just so powerful. That is so powerful. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah.
And what's changing is us. It's the way we look at those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, it could be the exact same situation that's going on, but the way we look at it and the way we make a choice to deal with it and either react or respond to it is what makes it change.
And I can just see like the gratitude vase that you do, and that's living in that present state, waking up in the morning, finding a person to be, to have gratitude for, situations to have gratitude for. That's actually being present in this present state. That's actually, understanding that right now is a present. You know what I mean? It is a present, and we need to address our lives like that every morning, just being thankful and looking at that the present is a gift. It is a gift.
Yes, every day, when we open our eyes, it's a gift, just like you said. That's not a guarantee for any of us.
No.
There's no guarantee of the next moment even. So when we do wake up and we realize, oh, day, what am I going to do with this day? How am I going to be this day? That's the choices that we have.
Yeah.
Is what state of mind am I going to be in?
Yeah.
Because that's for us to decide. It's not, somebody out there that's making a decision. Okay, today you're going to be miserable. No, it's up to me. If I'm going to be miserable, if I'm going to be pouty, if I'm going to be grumpy, or am I going to be happy? Am I going to say, thank you, God, that I have this day, another day that I can do something with, that I can make a difference in somebody's life, that I can affect somebody in a positive way. It's our choice. That's the beauty of life, is that we do have that choice.
We do. And as soon as we take our spiritual temperature, we need to just realize, like, okay, how I'm feeling is what I'm going to attract. How I'm feeling is what is going to, because I was just reading a quote that said that our heart is actually 5,000 times more electromagnetic than our brain, and I wouldn't have never thought that. And so everything at a radius, everything, we are attracting like energy. So it's important for us to take our temperature and say, look, okay, don't feel good. All right, so what needs to change is my thinking. Like you said, I need to go in and do that self-analysis of what why am I feeling this way? Oh, because the last 5 conversations I've had either to myself or to someone else probably was something that probably made me feel a little like, so I just need to, take that assessment. And like you said, Wayne Dyer talked about changing our perceptions. That's how you change your perception. It's the renewal of your mind so that your soul, which is your mind and your heart, your soul, your mind and your heart knoweth right well. We got to do like a self-analysis. What am I thinking? What am I putting in? Do I want how I feel do I want to attract everything that I'm feeling? No, don't want that life. Okay, so let's change it and let's put in good things.
And that's a really good point that you made, Brandy. We can do the words. We can even do an action like what I do as far as sending somebody a note. But is it really what we're feeling in our heart?
Yeah.
Let our hearts be where this comes from. Let it start there, and then let the words and the actions come out.
Yeah.
And what a difference! What a difference that will make, instead of just paying lip service, to something. Because a lot of times, people do things out of habit. So, it's like, oh, okay, today I have to send a note to somebody. No, it has to come from inside. The joy has to come from inside, or it's not going to make a difference in your life. So start with the inside work, and figure out who you are and what you're all about. Our solar plexus chakra is so important in getting in touch with who we are. We are spirit. We are all part of this oneness of spirit. And as such, then we put that out there. Once we know that we are spirit and that we're all about love, then that's what we put out into the world.
Yeah.
Instead of just, empty words, we're putting out that spirit of love that we put out to others.
Yeah.
All right. So one more quote, and this is from Eileen Caddy. Gratitude helps you to grow and expand. Gratitude brings joy and laughter into your life and into the lives of all those around you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a room where somebody's laughing and your attention just automatically gravitates there, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes. It does.
Yeah. So that's that same concept. You're putting out that aura, that essence of love and gratitude and joy and living a blessed life. So when you're in a room with other people, that's what they are going to gravitate to, is that essence that you're putting out, that happiness that you're putting out. You may not even be laughing. It may just be a smile on your face. But that's what's going to draw their attention. That's what's going to bring them, wow, there are happy people in the world. There are people that actually have joy inside instead of, that frowny face or that stressed essence, that people put out. But it's the same idea, as being drawn to laughter or a baby's laugh especially. Have you ever been there where a baby is just giggling and happy, and you can't help but laugh along with that baby?
And it's so true. It's so true. That positivity and that light and that energy, it's an atmosphere changer. It's totally an atmosphere changer. And we want to attract things that are of the fruits of the spirit, that are lovely and just and true and noble. We want that. So in order for us to get that in our lives and receive that in our lives, we have to be the essence of that, because we're only going to attract our mirrors. So when we take our spiritual temperature, we're saying, hey, okay, I'm doing a self-check. And we need to do that quite often. Do a self-check. And then if you don't like what you're feeling, think new thoughts, make sure that you're giving love to yourself. Like Terry was saying, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So she was talking about those actions and just doing it to be doing it. you know, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So we have to make sure that out of our hearts, you know, that's where it matters, you know. And then from there, you know, we're laughing, we're thankful, we're excited, we're joyful, and we're attracting all of that into our lives. People just want to know, what is it about you? You know, why are you just so happy? I remember being in high school, and my teacher used to tell me all the time, you are perpetually happy. You are like and I used to say, why do you say that to me? She's like, because you are. You're always like laughing. You're perpetually happy. And I was just like, wow. Like, but even then, I wanted to make everyone else happy around me. Inside, I wasn't as happy. So, but I actually, by doing that, I actually did attract beauty into my life, you know, because I made a decision to just, in the moment, even when I wasn't, we can change our own atmosphere. We can change our own temperature by just, you know, being the light that we want to see. You know, we begin to be that light. So it's important to do that.
It is. It's so important to be the light. You know, we, as light workers, that's what we are. That's what we do. You know, we put our light out there for others. And it may be the only light that someone sees today. You know, it's like going back to the choices. Do I choose today to let others see my light so that they come forward to it? Or am I going to just like, nah, I don't feel like putting a light out there today? You know, we have that choice. And it's not a pressure thing. It's like when we're light workers, that's what we do. It's like we know this is our purpose. This is why we're here this lifetime, is to put that light out there, to shine that light.
Yes, indeed.
We have just a few minutes left. I just want to say thank you to all of those who joined us today. We had quite a few viewers from what I'm seeing. And those that were in the chat room with us, thank you so much for being here. I love you. I thank you all for coming and watching and supporting us. You know, we just started this. Like I said, this is our third broadcast on Fridays. And Brandy and I will be here every Friday. And we encourage you to come into the chat room, to chat with us, to let us know your thoughts. And, you know, what it is that you're grateful for. Fridays are Gratitude Day. Mondays are Peace and the Angels Day. We talk about all of that on Mondays. But Friday specifically, we designate it as Gratitude Day. And Brandy and I just are so grateful for all of you being here, for all of you being in our life and on this journey with us. And on Friday nights, Brandy will be here with me on Fridays with Brandy on Angelspeakers Radio on Blog Talk. So I hope you all will join us tonight as we just go on and lift the vibration and chat with our callers and give out messages from Spirit. And that's a wonderful time with you, Brandy. I love our Fridays with Brandy.
I love being there with you. And call 929-477-1899 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or go to Blog Talk Radio and look up Angel Speakers. Angel Speakers is all one word. And 8 p.m. And there's so many different Angel Speaker shows that are so amazing that are happening. We are totally atmosphere changers. Definitely just putting the light out there. Go to angelspeakers.com. Angelspeakers.com. Terry Miller is the creator of Angel Speakers. That's why she's always talking about these angels. So Terry Miller is the creator. And go to angelspeakers.com. Angel Speakers on Facebook, the group, all one word, Angel Speakers. It's a dove, you'll know it's us. And you'll get a great big welcome, like always. And just hang out with us. You know, I know that you're here purposed and destined to be here and to be around, you know, us as light workers. And, you know, I just welcome you to join us on this journey.
Yes, absolutely. And one of our people that's in the chat room with us, Sherry, I just want to send out a big hug to you. Sherry got some really good news this week. on her MRI. And Sherry, I'm just so happy for you, honey, and just hang in